will use every trick in the book to rob us of our human dignity. And then, feeling powerless, we allow them to do to us what they want. But effective resistance requires that perpetrators of crime, especially torture, genocide, war crimes, and crimes against the peace, be brought to justice. It's a shame that we should even have to say that. But currently, we have a situation in which the killer of one might go to jail, but the killer of 100,000 is invited to peace talks. It seems that in this upside-down world, the more one kills, the more impunity one acquires. But true justice requires the absence of impunity. And that's what brings us here today. We want to criminalize war. Many people's tribunals have been initiated precisely because of the lack of justice in the politicized courts of the United States and increasingly in the world courts. Those with political power have been able to seize these courts and manipulate them to favor injustice. This includes the conduct of the International Criminal Court, which to date has not engendered hope. In his piece entitled, quote, "White Collar Crimes, Black African Fall Guys," unquote, investigative journalist Keith Snow writes, quote, "First, note that the ICC can now be viewed as a tool of hegemonic U.S. foreign policy, where the weapons deployed by the U.S. and its allies include the accusations of and indictments for human rights violations, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. To understand this, we can ask why no white man has yet been charged with these or other offenses at the ICC. Now, why is curbing impunity important? Just this week, Israel and the United States admitted that Israel murdered approximately 800 refugees as Israel attacked Sudan in January and February using unmanned killer drones. Israel unleashed death squads to commit targeted assassinations all over the world. To save the Palestinians from Israel is to save the rest of us from Israeli abuse, and of course, to save the Israelis from themselves. Even Israeli soldiers are telling the sad truth about Gaza. Doctors tell us that Gaza was a weapons testing laboratory. The world is rightly outraged about Israeli Operation Cast Lead. And of the Sudan operation, of which we are only just now learning, Olmert is reported to have said, quote, "There is no place where Israel cannot operate. There is no such place," unquote. Now, I've been questioned about my passion because I'm not Arab, I'm not Muslim, so why do I care so much about Palestine? My answer is this: I struggle every day for the human rights and dignity of Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Muslims, Arabs, the poor, and anybody else who is discriminated against. I learned from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who broke with his friends in the civil rights movement because they didn't want to alienate themselves from President Johnson by criticizing the Vietnam War. Dr. King decided that conscience compelled him to speak out against the war, even if it meant losing his friends, even if it meant losing his life. And when asked about it, Dr. King said that he fought segregation too long to segregate his moral concerns. The people of the world want war criminals held accountable. Bolivia wants to hold Israeli leaders accountable for their crimes in Gaza. The International Criminal Court says it's investigating whether Israel committed war crimes in Gaza. Now is the time for us to stand firm. That's why I support the Malaysia Peace Organization, the Brussels Tribunal, the Hurricane Katrina Tribunal, and any other effort to hold national leadership accountable for their actions. And I specifically support Malaysia's efforts to criminalize war. Because of what happened to our boat, the Dignity, while in international waters, the Free Gaza movement also wants to bring justice to Israel. I paid the ultimate political price for standing by the idea that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights ought to have universal application. You can rest assured that I will do everything in my power to promote dignity, a vision of peace that relies on truth and justice for all of us. Thank you.